Today we are going to introduce the project Preparing Young People for eWork. This presentation focuses on sectors united for fostering employability of young adults through eWork development project. The project is called SEED, which stands for Sectors Employability, eWork and Development. So first, let's start with the European context and what we have currently today. We see there is an unprecedented development of technology, global business, increasing competition, virtual working environment, eWork stands out. So what have we detected that we need? We need virtual competences. So first, moving on, we're going to talk about the project partners because this is an issue that affects globally, not only one region. There will be organizations working across 5 different sectors: consultancy, telecommunications, e-commerce, help desks, and software development in 6 different countries because it's an international issue, as I said before, such as Croatia, Hungary, the Netherlands, Portugal, Romania, and last but not least, United Kingdom. Next, we will talk about the project goals and the target groups. The objectives in this project is to explore and integrate the competences necessary for e-working organizations at a European level. We also need to provide young people with valuable support for developing their e-work competences through training. So meaning, what do we need and how do we get it? Then we would move on to the target groups, which would be adult educators, practitioners, professionals, experts, specialists, training staff active in education and training, young adult learners, counselors providing career guidance who wish to open new ways to communicate and to support their target groups through online methods, a new alternative, innovative method, we would say. Then the second target group would be young adult learners, ages approximately 18 to 29. Especially, we want to focus on early school leavers and young people with fewer opportunities. So first, we're going to talk about the project research findings. The research was based on questionnaires, 4 sets of questions listing 20 different competences. And what we wanted here is to the identification of the most valuable competences that are needed. Here in this specific project would be 8 competences that e-workers should obtain in order to get an e-work position. And the target of these questionnaires would be employers from the 5 sectors that we are focusing on in this project. The results of the survey were first, as you can see, we have the top 8 competences identified in the 6 project countries. On our left, which would be continuous improvements, planning and organization work, results orientation, flexibility, initiative, proactivity, client focus, personal credibility, trustworthiness, and professional confidence. And on our right, you can see the top 8 competences identified in Romania, which are very similar. We have continuous improvement the same, planning and organization the same, results orientation as well, analytical thinking, client focus as well, professional confidence, stress management and flexibility / ICT knowledge. So the competences are very, very similar. Next on, we're going to talk about the steps that are needed for creating e-workplaces in the 5 different target sectors. So first we would need an identification of the accessible technology strategy. Then we would get an identification of requirements. Third step would be design, development, and purchase technology. And 4th step would be implementation and training. Finally, moving on to the last step would be the role of technology and continuous learning. So here, basically, means if we want to create e-workplaces, how can we do it? What can we do it? Well, these are the steps that we consider necessary to follow. So after that, I would like to talk about the project's main activities and future developments. First of all would be the creation of the Competency Toolkit, as well as the creation of the e-tutor e-learning module for trainers, and then the adaptation of the C's e-learning modules. C's is another project that is a former project which is very similar but tackle different competences. So we are going to adapt this project using C's project as well. Finally, we would work with the pilot simulation process to see how the results work and the development. So first out would be the Competency Toolkit. It will be an online tool for adult educators, trainers, and youth workers, which measures the young adult learners' current competences and identifies which areas need to be developed, which ones we need now. We will have a competence dictionary and a set of questionnaires developed to measure the current competence level of the participant, identifying gaps and making recommendations on the necessary training modules. So here, basically, we are going to get familiar with the tools and the competences we already have and which ones we need. Second of all, we will work with the e-tutor e-learning module, which is overview of the tasks and role of the future e-tutors in youth development programs, meaning training the trainers. The e-tutors learn how to moderate online classes, webinars, video conferences, and how to tutor target groups through e-channels. Finally, we would work with the pilot simulation process, which is a pilot test the competences of the e-team members after learning the e-content developed. 12 modules for young adult learners and the newly developed e-tutor model. Remember that the 12 modules for young adult learners will be an adaptation of the C's project. After that will be an online role play of volunteer participants located in different countries, which will interact, and they will become employees of an imaginary company called Virtual Motion. As e-workers, they have received a task from the CEO that they must complete by a stipulated deadline. At the beginning of the simulation, the participants receive this information and their roles and positions in the project. The members of the e-team, one e-manager, which would be a trainer, and 4 e-workers, are assigned to complete a small project, including several tasks together. Moving on, we would finalize with the conclusions. So the conclusions basically are that it enables adult educators, trainers, youth workers, teachers, and facilitators to obtain more knowledge shared across sectors. It also provides valuable e-tutor training material meant to help them develop practical new skills for everyday e-work and get familiar with new innovative testing methods. It also enables young adult learners access to self-assessment tools, measuring their e-work skills and identify future learning paths. It provides labor market relevant training that helps them develop practical, virtual, and entrepreneurial skills. Most importantly, it enhances young people's chances of employability and labor market mobility. Finally, it supports the idea that learning is a lifelong adventure which people should pursue. So thank you so much for your attention.